Thank you for joining me for this broadcast. I would like to give you some ideas for creating a list of topics for your upcoming live streams. And I also want to challenge you to push yourself to go live every day on your business page. Let's try for the next 14 days. My name is Vicki Maris. You can find my content at vickimaris.com or on several of my business pages here in Facebook. I am going live from the VJ Maris page, and there are several couple others where you can also find this content because I am cross posting. So we'll talk about that in a later live stream if you want to learn a little bit more about how to do that. You might be watching me from one of the other pages where I'm cross-posting. So if you are joining me from the Virtual Learning Tours page or the Teach, Inspire, Connect page, thank you for being here, but please know that I can't see the comments that you might type yet. I'll have to go visit those pages separately after the broadcast. Thank you for sharing out the broadcast and inviting others to join you in this short nugget of time for learning a little bit about creating a list of topics for your upcoming live streams. I made a couple of notes here that I wanted to pass along to you. One of them is about how I go about creating ideas for the content I'm going to cover in a live stream. I know from being there that sometimes you just get challenged with, boy, I don't even know what to talk about. I have been in groups of people who were practicing doing live streams. I've done this in Facebook Live groups before, and in the app Periscope. I used to be a part of a group where over 10,000 women, it's still a group, over 10,000 women that do broadcasting about their businesses within Periscope, which is connected to Twitter. And we would challenge one another to go live on a daily basis for at least a 3 minute, we called them scope or Periscope. Here in Facebook Live, we usually shorten that to live. You got to create a list of those topics if you're going to do this every day. So that's what this particular broadcast is about, creating the list. Whenever I have an idea for a topic that I think you might be interested in, I put it in a note in my Notes app in my iPhone. That's a convenient way for me to keep growing a list. So there's one idea. If you're not an iPhone user, whichever type of smartphone you use, there is some sort of Notes app for keeping track of things that you want to keep track of. I usually add, if I'm not building out the same note, so you can keep returning to the same note and adding more topic ideas, or if you make separate notes, or if you use your voice to create a note that way, put a keyword in the very first sentence so that it's easy for searching to find all of your notes when you're going back and pulling your list together. Another thing I do is I will email myself ideas. So when I just put the description in this particular Facebook Live, I took that description that I had typed up and I emailed it to myself, and I will add it to a document. I often will do this with Google Docs. I'll add it to a document where I'll keep track so I know what I've already talked about. But that leads me to another thought for something that I will be adding to my list, and that is you can repeat your subject matter. So I might, for instance, create a list. If I'm going to do a daily Facebook Live, I'll create a list that has about 14 topics for 14 days, and then start repeating those topics. You will find that your followers on your page, they're not going to scroll back very far usually and look at your old videos. So it is fine to revisit a topic, and you may have something new and fresh that you want to add around that particular bit of content. So it's fine to continue repeating things that are very pertinent to your area of expertise. So that was one of the things that I wanted to share. The last thing that I'm going to share today in this Facebook Live is the last thing that I wanted to share in this broadcast is don't be afraid to give your best content away. people sometimes hold back and think, well, gosh, if I give my best away in that live stream, people aren't going to buy my book, or people won't come and hear us perform, or, whatever the thing is that you do. And in fact, just the opposite happens. When you give your best away in this type of a format, people come for more. They go buy your book because they want to learn more. Or one of the ways I have thought about this is, if you are a minister delivering a sermon, I don't think when you're writing up your sermon, you don't think, oh, I'm gonna hold back. I'm not gonna teach people that particular thing because I want them to watch my other sermons, or I want them to get my book. You don't do that. You give your best. You dig in and go, oh my gosh, they need to know this and I want to teach them that. That's the way we all should be approaching the content that we are delivering, no matter what our areas of expertise might be. And that is definitely my personal opinion. I have heard many others on podcasts. I've read about this. I've seen some research results about this, that it works. It helps to build trust among your followers. I'm going to stop with that, and I am going to go live tomorrow. I wish I knew what I was going to go live about, but I haven't decided exactly which item from my list that I'm going to share about tomorrow. So I'll keep you in suspense, and I look forward to having you join me tomorrow. Please don't forget to share out the broadcast, and I am going to go visit the threads and see if there are comments, questions that you would like for me to respond to. I like to do that in the moment, but I tell you what, when I'm doing a solo broadcast, it's a lot harder to also be watching the comments and to be engaging with you in the camera lens. So I am going to, instead of being distracted, I opted today to say, I'll go back and look afterwards and respond at that point in time. So no matter if you're with me right now or watching on the replay, I will take a look at your comments and your questions. Take care. This is Vicki Maris signing off.